Good morning, everybody. It's Friday and it's cold. What the heck happened? It's like it went from 70 yesterday and I'm like, all the windows are open to, brr, I'm freezing today. My hands are cold. I'm wearing layers. Heat's back on. Anyway, so today I want to make some cards using this stamp set. This one is the Spring Bunnies, and they're so adorable. The only thin cut in it is to cut the bunnies out. And I have so many ideas for this set. I mean, I don't just use bunnies just for Easter. I use them on a lot of spring cards, but just picture them, on the slim line. You can use two, or along the bottom of a scrapbook page. That would be so adorable. And the other thing that I got was that set of eggs. And I'm dying to do a page where you just cut out a whole bunch of colored Easter eggs all along the bottom and set them in grass. I mean, that sounds so whimsical for me. For the kind of pictures I take, I basically take pictures of me coloring eggs every year. My daughter and my husband will search for eggs if I hide them, but it's a little weird in our house without kids around Easter. You really do celebrate the more religious part of Easter, which is really what it is about. But, the scrapbook pages and the pictures you take tend to be more fun and playful. So, anyway, today I'm making a card. But before I do that, I want to do a sneak peek. And I'm telling you, this is a total sneak peek. I am getting all of our club packages ready to mail today. And everybody, I don't know if I'll deliver them today or tomorrow or this weekend or when. But I'm going to try to talk my husband into going with me and taking a drive. And so we can just make our trip to everybody's house and drop things off. And then the mailbox, go to the post office, mail everything. So that's my plan today. But, okay, are you ready? Now, if you don't want to see this and you like the surprise, please, wait 5 more minutes while I go through it. And then come back, or fast forward if you're watching the replay. Okay, so a lot of you love this Let's Go Anywhere paper pack, and so what I decided to do is one of the layouts from the volume 5 Make It From Your Heart. A lot of us did not get the Make It From Your Heart volume 5. Actually, let me grab that really quick. So this is no longer available. It went fast when they had that crazy sale right after Christmas, like that Boxing Week sale where everything sold out like crazy. This sold out, and I was not anticipating it to sell out. It was on my list of things I wanted, and it was the only one of the idea books that I did not have yet. So I've been looking for it for a long time, and now that Close to My Heart announced that the company is going to be closing, it kind of worked out. A lot of people are getting rid of their stash because they're anticipating switching over to Stampin' Up. But I'm like, I would never get rid of these in a million. Now, these are copyrighted. I'm not really supposed to be showing you all what's in it and stuff, but basically they are design guides for cards and scrapbook pages, and there are quite a few. So there's 18 different 2-page layouts, and then there's a whole bunch of there are actually 10 cards, not a ton of cards, but when you look at a lot of the close to my heart artwork, people use these often. There are only certain ones that we're technically allowed to show you and make copies of, but you know, I just do. I'm small potatoes in the world of close to my heart. So anyway, so this is the layout that I wanted to use, and it basically has room for a 5x7 photo and 2 3x4 photos, and then a 3x3 photo, and then it just basically has stripes going across. And the stripes going across, I don't know why it struck me as like, wow, that reminds me of like when you go to the airport or something. And I thought that's perfect for this paper. I'm gonna try it. So I did get this. I'm really excited. I'm not thrilled. I don't always love the examples they show, but I love their idea, the cutting guide and stuff. Okay, so you can see on the layout, I used the stripes going across. Instead of a 5x7 photo, I did 4x6 because I think the majority of us do 4x6 more so than 5x7. And I made these more like 3.5x5 size, and this one is 3x3. So that way you don't have to cut down your photos quite so much. The littler ones allowed for more artwork, but I don't, you know, there's something about, you really do need to have some space on the page. If you have flip-flops, this would be a great place to have another one if you would like that. I debated on turning this horizontal, but I left it in the design that they had. The little arrows at the top in this cluster are made using those really cool shapes, dies that we have in the catalog right now that keep selling out. And so I made some of these out of this, and I also did this circle using that die cut as well. The other set that I used is the let me grab it if I can find it. Oh shoot, I don't know where it is. I had a pile of these stamp sets I wanted to show you, but basically this is the Let's Go Anywhere card making set. Remember how it has like the circle and then the little embossed circle that could be a clock, it could be a, you know, a compass, it could, you know, ideas. Anyway, this is from the card making, and this journey is using those alphabet dies. I just did not do the outline. So when you cut them out, you get the letters and you get the outlines. And I debated on putting like a tan outline around these, or a, you know, a different color outline, and I just didn't. I just liked the way it looked, just like this. Enjoy was using that alphabet set that we got from the album retreat. I liked the size of it, and so that's where I got the letters for Enjoy. And then the little the is from that, do I have it here? What is wrong with me? Hold on. Yeah, I do. Okay. Sorry. Part of our alphabet in the last catalog, maybe the time before, we had this title style set that has different joiners, you know, for, and, by, the, and I think this is still available online, but I really like it for stuff like this, because look at how many options I had. I was like, I could use this one or this one or this one. And there's a lot of twos, you know, a lot of ampersands. Anyway, I like this set. I pull it out I keep it near the front of all of my messages so that I can pull it out like this and use this instead of each individual letter. I just thought that was kind of cool. The other stamp that I used is right here. This little arrow thing is on one of the Let's Go Anywhere sets. Trying to remember which set it's on, but it is on one, and I just stamped it over and over, and I think it makes a great border for this page. So there's the left page. The right page, the other things I did, this is from an old retired set. I pulled out all my travel sets, and I just really like how this looks. And these are often, most of you have stickers from the sticker sheet, and this right here are those really great shape die cuts, like these packs. These are the sage ones, and look how well they go with everything. It's great. It worked out great, and it just so happened I had enough to do a lot of the pages. And then I don't know if you remember this from the catalog, Remember This Moment, and I've been using this Say Yes to New Adventures and Celebrate Everything and Life is a Beautiful Ride, Living the Good Life. It's the good thing, it's the little things. These are ones that came out to go along with these messages, and look how perfect they worked. Sorry, I swallowed my coffee wrong. All right, anyway, it's early for me. I had a rough day yesterday. Ugh. So I got a late start today. Anyway, this little stamp set under here is from the album retreat, because I love how they, you know, I showed you the other day how they give you these like miscellaneous stamp sets that have two sides, and I just used this little border and stamped it underneath the photos. And you know, you don't think it adds that much until you add it, and then it's like, yeah, it needed something there. It was really good. So when you look at your layouts, kind of look and see like what's on it and what you have in your stash. Pull things out and kind of start adding things there. What else is I going to tell you about this? Oh, the title, Enjoy the Journey. It doesn't have to be a trip. I have not been traveling that much lately, and so Enjoy the Journey can be anything. It can be, I was even thinking this would be great for, you know, your kid going off to college, or if you were going through a you know, a process to reach a goal, you know, just taking photos of getting to that goal. I don't know, you know, like I was even thinking, like my daughter did Habitat for Humanity, and they traveled around the United States in a few places to build houses in order to get to the goal of getting to college, because you had to volunteer, and then she loved it so much that she did it again. You know, there's just certain photos that would work on here that would be really good. And so the journey, for me, enjoying the journey of going from working to retiring, that has been a very big process for me. And, you know, there's just a lot of ideas for that. It would be great for like high school or graduation, or a trip. I mean, you know, sure, use it for a trip. Anyway, I just wanted to show you the layout because There are a lot of details on it, and it's coming your way soon, and I didn't want you to think I was holding all of your projects and all of your orders in, you know, like, I don't know. I'm drinking my coffee so I can wake up and my words will start coming to me again. Okay, so today I decided I just want to get a little messy. One of the things that I purchased lately is this die set. It's just a background die, and you know, I didn't like it when it first came out. It's a circle lattice background. It's been out for a while. It's still available online. I wasn't gonna buy it, and then I saw the most amazing card where somebody had taken an off-white one and they put it onto a card panel raised up, and it was just such a cool, simple background. I was like, this is really beautiful. And they just put the flowers on it from the stamp of the month last month. Remember the little pansies and violets? And I was like, that's a gorgeous card, and I think I need that background. So I went ahead and got it. I mean, when else am I going to, right? And so I cut out a few of them. One thing you can do if you want dimension and you want them thick is you can cut out several and glue them together, and then when you put them on a page or on a card, you know, you have instant dimension, which is really great. Because it is sort of fussy to put foam tape and stuff on the back of these to raise them up. But I cut out a bunch because I wanted to play a little bit today. And the other thing I cut out was some bunnies because I wanted to play with the bunnies. And I cut out a bunch of panels of, this is watercolor paper, real smooth watercolor paper. And I just wanted to play a little bit and see what I could come up with. I have a general idea of what I want to do, but I don't know how it will turn out. So it's been a while since I played with distress oxides, and so I got out all my blue one. Well, I didn't get all of them, but I got out a few blues, my mustard seed. These are like spring colors, and I thought, if I'm gonna put the bunnies, you know, somewhere at the bottom, maybe I can make like a sky. I don't know. I thought about doing the chicks. That's why I got out these colors, but I'm not sure what I'm going to do with them yet. So to start, I'm just going to start with the blues, and I'm basically going to use my all-purpose mat here and just smash some color on. Let's just see how this goes. That's tumbled glass. This is broken china. And this is Mermaid Lagoon, which is a lot bolder, but I need some bold in there. Okay. And then I always have like a little bit of water in a bottle, and I have my water brush. I don't know if I'll need that. I might need that when I color the bunnies. And then I have an old rag cloth that I use all the time. And I'm just gonna spritz some water on that, and the idea is to get it puddled up a little bit. So let that work its way a minute. Hold on just a second here. I'm just off camera. I'm getting a couple of things. When I left my house yesterday, I left my glue open, and I want to make sure it didn't, like, I don't know, dry shut. That would be bad. I'm like, that's like something I always do. I always put the pin in my glue so it doesn't dry up. And I don't know why. Like I said, yesterday was a little rough. Okay, so now I'm using my water brush, and I'm just gonna glob water in a few places. I just want to get that a little mushed around. Okay, here goes the messy part. I'm just gonna tap and lift and tap and lift, tap and lift. And I'm just getting some color on here. And then I'm going to use my heat gun to dry it just a little bit. If you don't dry it and you just keep tapping and lifting, you will just keep getting more color on there, but it doesn't always layer the same way. Like if you heat it in between, see how it has that cool marbly look? You'll keep some of that marbly look, and then the color will layer on top of it, which is kind of cool for, that's the distress oxide, you know, factor. It's really neat. Anyway, I'm gonna, now that it's not dry completely, obviously it's still wet, it's still warped and everything, but I just want to do a little more color and lift, and you can see it's how it gets like a little more blotchy, and I'm just going to heat that again. And it layered on top. It didn't turn into mud, it layered right on top of it. Okay. And this will all go flat. I'm so not worried about it buckling. And this is the reason I used watercolor paper also, because when you get messy like this, you know, sometimes if you use regular paper, it would be like curled up in a ball. I'm just gonna set this one aside for a minute because I kind of like that. And then I'm gonna add a couple more drops of water, and I'm gonna add a little more color again. I think I'll add the darker color to my, okay. And I'm gonna mist that. I'm gonna take another panel and do kind of the same thing. And see how I have a lot less color on my sheet. So picked up a lot less. I'm gonna put it where there's more. Okay, now this one I'm intentionally leaving a little bit white. And the reason is because I want to add some of those bright colors to it also. Now, I could totally just get out my blending tools and just blend ink onto one of these. It would look great. It would be rainbow colored or whatever I wanted. I could go from light to dark or dark to light. I've done that lots of times. I'm going to do one more just with what I have left. And I just want to pick up what I have so that I can do the other color too. Okay, I'm going to wipe this off with my rag. Heat these a little more. Here's this one. The first, so this is like first, second, and third colors. And now I want to add some of those fun spring colors. So there's my blues. Here's the crazy bold colors I want to add. It may be too much, you know, but I'm going to try it. All right, so I'm going to put a little mustard seed. My mustard seed is my ink pad. It looks so weird. It always has. I don't know why it came that way. I think it's something with the pigment. And I bought a second one thinking, you know, it would be better, and it's not. Picked raspberry. And then I found out a lot of people have that problem. And twisted citron, now that's a little neon for me, but I'm gonna try it. All right, I'm gonna mist my color. And I also want to drip a little extra on here. That's how I get the bubble, you know, the water bubbles. Okay. All right. The moment of truth. Okay, so I'm going to use my mostly white one first, and I'm just gonna tap it in. I want some of that color kind of random all over it. This one I want colored over the whole surface, but I want it, I don't want it so yellow. Yikes. Let me just get some of the drips off there. I should be using a paper towel, I suppose. And look at that kind of purpley pink that's if you do too much, it's going to turn into brown. So, all right, let me grab my heat tool again. I'm going to set this here and heat it up. Now, one thing about these colors is as they dry, they do matte down, like diminish just a little bit. So if they're super bold to your eye, they will soften a bit as they dry. But I need these to be a little bit bold because I want them to show through that cool die cut that I have. I feel like this needs pink. It needs more pink. So I'm gonna set that aside. And let's see, let me get out. I'm gonna get out my pink again and add a little more of it. Okay, and then this one, I'm going to add a little less yellow, I think. And put some green on there. I may have to add more color to my table. And let's add some more pink. I know they don't look like much, but they're gonna look really cool with that background. All right, this one I'm gonna keep blue. Okay, let me wipe this off. And remember how I said I felt like it needed more pink? I am gonna do just a little bit of that picked raspberry, and I'm gonna puddle up some water. And I am just going to kind of tap that in, pick up some more pink on there. I like that. And then this one, I'm gonna do the same thing. See how it's so yellow? I want a little more color there that's a little different. Okay. Yeah, all right. Let's heat these up. Let me dry this off. And then we can make our put it behind our die cuts. Sometimes I turn it over when I'm drying it because you can kind of see where the moisture has soaked through, and adhesive seems to work better if you have it dry. Like if you really set this off to the side to dry for a bit, it really does seem like it works better if you don't have these huge puddles of water. So, but since I'm in a hurry, because we're on here, I'm gonna heat it from the back. This one is pretty dry. I think I may grab, I know, they don't look like much, do they? Let me just grab my shimmer brushes, just a few colors here. Purple, pink, yellow. I don't know. I just grabbed a few springy colors. Let's just see what we can do with this. I don't think there's enough on there to squeeze a little out. There is wild berry. Wild berry is pretty purple. Wisteria is a really pretty pale purpley blue. And then I have a little bit of yellow. This one is lemonade. Lemonade is, I hope you can see what I'm doing. I have my camera up a little bit high. Oh yeah, I like the lemonade color. Okay, pretty good. I don't think I'll add that light pink. And here I go again with my, I know, you're like, oh, wasteful. I think it in my head sometimes too. Oh, that's so wasteful. All right, so there's that. And then I'm just gonna grab, I think I'm gonna make some cards. I don't necessarily need to put them on card bases yet, but I do want to put these on top. So I want to show you my plan. I love how, do you see how that looks? So it goes through it, it looks really beautiful. And I can put the little bunnies on there and do a happy Easter. This one would be really cute with the little yellow chicks. If I do yellow at the top and green at the bottom, it would look like, you know, sun, sky, grass kind of idea. So that's one. I'm just gonna hold that there for a minute so you can see the colors and how they come through. And the white is just calm, so I like that. This one is wild in comparison, right? It's a lot bolder. And boy, that would be a very cool background for a floral. I love the color scheme of that. I'm not sure I want that with the bunnies, but I do really like how that turned out. Do you guys like that? I don't know. I think it's really neat. That's a very bold and weird looking graphic background. So adding the white, you know, calms it down a little bit. This is the one I want to play with though. Mostly blue, like the sky. I'm gonna put the bunnies on it, and then I'm gonna add grass at the bottom. That's my plan. Although this one is really nice. They're both really nice. I don't know. Decisions. Let's color our bunnies. Then I can decide what I want to do. I have a couple of ways I want to color today. One is with markers, and I am all about getting out my sheet and trying to decide what color I want my bunnies to be. I could make them tans or browns or grays, and I kind of like this brown gray mix. And so I grabbed, the first three colors are the blend and the bottom three colors are the shade. So I grabbed the blend and the shade. Now, Close to My Heart has a lot of the colors now, but I'm moving my camera around. Sorry if I'm making you dizzy or anything. But Close to My Heart has a lot of the colors, but they don't have them all anymore. And so I just want you to know that you can get the entire pack of blends and shades. Let me show you how they come. Sorry, I'm walking all over my house because I have these things in piles. So the blends, these are the essential blends and these are the deep blends. And people are starting to put them on sale for really cheap, and which makes these a fabulous deal. And it's probably a good idea if you're like me. I got rid of all my Copics. I just can't, I love that there's 3 colors in each of these markers. I am not going to, I am not going to go back to Copics where you have to pull, you know, 8 to 10 markers just to color bunnies. I love this. These blends are amazing. These tri-blends. So it's a good idea to kind of search around for deals on them because you can find them for great deals. Also, I think they'll sell out quickly, but you know, close to my heart is having their what do they want to say? Like their big clearance on things is going to be in May. And I don't know if there'll be any tri-blends left, but that might be another way to pick them up for a song, a deal. Sometimes I use the middle tone, and now I'm going to go to a couple shades darker. On the markers, there's a light, a mid, and a dark, and there's 3 different markers in one. I know you guys have seen me use these, but I feel like I'm talking to you like you've never seen them before. And I like to go with a little bit of a darker shade and do the places that would be in shadow. You know, like under his arm, he would be shaded by the other bunny. This ear's behind the other ear. His neck. In here would be a little darker. You know what? It doesn't even really matter because when you see it, what you just want is you just want more than one tone. You don't want the bunnies to all be the same, right? And so the other thing is these stamps have little lines on them. You could just, you know, touch the darker color to wherever the lines are, and that will give you a little shadow. So okay, so see how I use just a little bit darker tone, and now I can go even darker, and I can just do like a little, almost like a little outline around the shaded areas. Okay, let me just show you. So I used 3 different colors of marker on him. And if something looks too like, okay, that's too much of a line, I need that lighter again. You go back to your light color and you just blend it a little bit with the light color. And now that line is more shaded. Trying to get it to focus. There we go. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just coloring in and using my like mid-tone for the major coloring. Alcohol markers work a little better if you don't do this and try to go across like that. They work better if you do a circular motion or where you overlap a little. That way the alcohol has a little more of an effect. Notice I'm not being all that careful, really. So what's everybody doing today? You doing anything fun? I'm obviously going to be, I'm switching to the shade, and I'm going to go with the light color of the shade again. I'm just adding some definition to the little bunnies so they don't all look like just a row of bunny, like a row of gray. I'm obviously going to be packing up orders. That takes me a few hours. I had somebody ask me one time, like, how long does that really take you to do that? And I'm I'm like, well, it takes me about an hour and a half usually to pack everything. And then it takes me another half hour to an hour to print weigh everything and do the shipping labels. And then, and then delivering it. Now, the weird thing about delivering is you'd think just mail it. It's so much easier. But it costs me enough that I have to sit and think about the cost of, is it cheaper to deliver it in person? I mean, some people are so close to me and yet, half an hour away. And it's like, is it cheaper to deliver it in person or is it cheaper to mail? So, and you have to think about time also. I usually dedicate a whole day to delivering orders and that kind of thing. So, fun. It's a fun day. Actually, I just take Moose with me and we usually just go for a drive and drop everything off. I'm just going over this again just to blend some of my shading. Now, coloring images, it's not that I don't think I'm good at it. I think I'm fine at it. I think everybody is pretty good at using tri-blends. Now I'm going to use a little pink. It's just that I don't enjoy it all that much. I want the ears to be this peachy color where they're open. And then I'm going to go back with the lighter color and just make sure it's blended good. There we go. Okay. So I have my first set of bunnies done. Ta-da. Now the other way I want to color another set. I want to see how it looks. I got out my Close to My Heart colors. I could do it tan, I can do it, toffee, whatever. I think I'm going to go over the whole thing in shortbread. You cannot see that. I can barely see that. But basically, I'm just going to real lightly color my bunnies in shortbread like this. And they'll be kind of tan all over. And the other thing you can do is you can get your bunnies just wet and then tap in a little color on top of the water and it'll kind of flow. Okay, so there's the shortbread bunnies and wipe that off. And now I want to use a little toffee. That one you might be able to see a little better. And that's what I'm going to use to tap in a little color for shading. So you can kind of see what I'm doing there. Oh, look, I got two on each other. There we go. So like that. There's that. Hey, Heather, good morning. Heather and I have been talking about the Stampin' Up! Convention that's going on right now. I'm always excited when different companies come out with their new catalogs and their new stuff. It's fun. It's fun. I don't even care what company it is. I want to see their new releases. I want to see what they have, and it's exciting. So I've noticed that some of the stamp companies have started having new releases every single month. And I know it's because they really, that's how they're keeping their sales more consistent. But it's frustrating when they do that thing where they retire items, like they bring out new stuff and then retire old stuff, or it sells out because it's like, sells out like wicked fast, right? And then you miss out because you're waiting to place an order. Those are so cute. I need the pink though. I think I'll use peach. I'm just gonna put a little bit of peach on the ears. If I start with the darkest color at the base where it would be the most in shadow and then blend up, you can see you don't have to do much to it to shade it, you know. I might put a little on the nose too. Put a little extra color here at the bottom. Make that a little darker. One thing about using your stamp pads as an ink pad is they really do dry a lot softer. Ah, cute. Okay, so there's the marker one. There's the ink pad one. I think they both look great. I'm pretty happy. This could use more definition. Sometimes I'll take like a marker and just tap it onto the color. Let me just grab one and show you. Like I'll take, for example, my brown, this is like muted brown, and I'll just tap it onto my watercolor in a few places. Instead of watercoloring over layers, you know, because the watercolor, you have to wait for it to dry and then add another layer. Sometimes I'll add marker to it instead and just add a little shading. I'll show this to you here in just a sec. And that way you can see, it really helps to have a little extra definition on these bunnies in the shaded areas. And I'm just going over the areas that already have the little lines of shading. So you can see what I'm talking about, where I added, you can see where I added the marker, but it just makes them pop a little bit more. I could have kept going with the color and, you know, I could have just kept going, but yeah. Okay, now if I'm going to use this like sky, I don't know which one I like better. I think the gray with the blue. I'm going to need, I could do it either way. I think I'll do it this way. I'm going to need some grass. So I need grass down here. Now, if I went and got a die cut of grass, it would be a lot. It's too whimsical. My grass die cut is too jaggedy. And so what I did is I went into my stamp sets and I found all of these. I have a ton of these texture type stamps, and any of these would work. Anything with little lines like that, because all you'd have to do is tap it down at the bottom a whole lot. But look at this one. It really looks more random like grass. So I'm going to use that one. Did I get out of block? No, I did not. Hold on. I feel like you guys are waiting for me to get my act together a lot today. All right, so I'm going to put this on a block, and I don't have to ink up the whole thing. I just want a little grass down at the bottom for my bunnies. And I'm gonna do it in 2 different colors. So I'm gonna start with sage, and I'm just gonna ink up, you know, part of my stamp. I don't need the whole thing. And I'll show you how this looks. So by doing it multiple times, the first time you stamp it, you know, you get that bold, and then if you do it again, you get another image that's lighter and lighter and lighter. So by going up, it gets lighter and lighter as you go. All right, that's the plan. We'll see how it looks. Okay, I'm gonna grab pine. I just want a little more definition, and I'm just tapping that. I'm not gonna do a whole lot of this. I just want a little bit along the bottom. And all right. That's kind of cool looking, right? It does look like grass. Neat. Okay, the other thing I kind of want to do is I want to take that sage and a blending brush, and I just want to kind of blend that a little more green. Now the bunnies will go here, so not much of that will show, but maybe a little over here, and definitely over here will show. So by blending some green out, it gives that illusion that the grass continues. You know, that it goes farther than it, and that way, if I did my lines in upside down, good job. If I do my lines in too much of a row, tap, 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 tap in a row, sometimes I can make that look a little more uneven, like real grass. All right, let me wipe this off since I'm making such a mess. Okay, I think I'm ready to put it together. All right, so this will go on my card base, and I'm thinking I better actually use a card base because it's still warped. I have these card bases that I got from somebody, can't remember who. Somebody sent me a bunch of their card bases and things that they were throwing away, and they were like, I know you would love this. And so they're not close to my heart brand, but they'll work. They work great. They're pretty sturdy. Let's see. I think I'll use this side up. And I cut my panels to leave a border because it's not gonna matter when I get this on here, because this is a full card panel size, the 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and I really do think it needs dimension. So I can either put foam tape around it and keep it popped up like that, or I could, like I said before, like cut an extra and glue them together, and that gives it a little more thickness, and that gives it a little dimension. Ooh, that is perfect. That's the perfect amount. That's what I'm gonna do then. All right, hope my glue works since I left it out all night. Yep. Okay, so I'm just gonna tap glue in a few places. Doesn't have to be all over the whole thing, but I feel like my OCD or something makes me want to put it all over the whole thing. Anyway, I'm gonna line that up. All right, ta-da. Make sure I have my opening right, so when I put this on, I definitely want to make sure I get the edges, especially since my base is a little bit warped. I want to make sure that the edges are glued down well. This is like a Jennifer McGuire trick to cut multiple layers of a die cut and do that instead of using foam. And what's nice about that is it's sturdy. but it's also, and it's thick. It gives it, you definitely see the shadow there, but it's not so thick that it would be more expensive, say, to go like in the mail or whatever. Love that. And look at the shimmer brush behind in the background. Yeah, you can catch that. It's cool, right? Ooh, that's neat. So there's my bunnies. Or do I want brown? No, I definitely want the gray. And this one I do want foam tape for. Let me just grab some here. Peg, if you are watching, I am selling those extra alphabets to you. I had one extra alphabet set and one extra shape set, and Peg was really wanting the alphabet, so I think I got everybody accounted for. Ta-da! Okay, now it definitely needs a message. Let me see. I'm looking at my stamp sets that are sitting everywhere. I could do a little hello spring, a warm and fuzzy hugs, thankful for friends. Ooh, that's really a good idea. I think I'm just going to do a little hello spring. And then what color? It needs to be a bold color because this background is so, there's so much like color on it. So I could do it in one of the distress colors. Let's try this. It may be too blendy. Looking for scratch paper. Wow, that's pretty. That color is really cool. But it is pretty blendy, right? I don't know why I got out Distress Oxides instead of my regular inks today. But it's been a while since I used them. Oh yeah, I like that. Oh, I can't talk while I cut either. There's something about that. Oh, cool. I do like that. I think it needs something behind it. I'll probably put, I could put that sun behind it. That would look really cool. Okay, yeah, I'm going to add some stuff to that. I'm going to add something. Don't know what yet, but I am. Now, here's my other two backgrounds. I have this really bold, crazy one. I got a plan for that. I'll do something with that later, off camera. I really love this. Oh, gosh, I love it. And the bunnies are almost too soft with it. So I think I am going to have to do my bold chick idea on this one. So I think but look, the Hello Spring will look cool on that one. Look, it's like just enough contrast. Yeah. All right. Anyway, so that's what I have today. I have these fun backgrounds that I am going to make into cards. Aren't they wild? They're just wild. But you know, the backgrounds only took me a few minutes to make. And if you make a whole bunch of them at once, there's your assembly line for your card bases, right? So you can make a whole bunch of cards and I don't know. I just think this is what I like to do when I'm playing, is make a whole bunch of something, make a plan, and just use everything up. I don't want to store these parts and these backgrounds and this stamped image, and I want to use them up and make as many cards as I can with what I've got, and then throw out what I don't use. Ooh, the Easter egg idea. Hold on a minute. So I have this, oh, I don't know where I put it. Dang. I have that Easter set, the Easter egg set. I have this is the set I thought about using with it, right? With the chicks in different colors. Look how big that chick is. Wouldn't that be cute? Make the chick really bold. Oh, and look at the flower. The flower would look really nice on there too, actually. Now that I'm looking at things a little differently, you know, the big daffodils. Oh, okay. I got to think about that. I also bought the Easter egg set, which I really, really love, and I actually bought 2 of them. Why did I do that? I don't even know where they are right now because I have them in a project pile. But the Easter eggs, you're right. The Easter eggs would look cool on that. I'm going to play around with that a little bit. Okay, well, that's what I have. Anybody want to chat today? Let me know. I am going to be home all day, just, you know, putzing around and getting things ready to mail. And I'm going to finish some cards. I don't know. I don't have anything in particular planned. Oh, and I should show you my face. So I'm going to take my camera off here. Just a minute. Off of my holder. Sorry, didn't mean to. All right, I just want to show you. Look at my face. Is that crazy? I had an MRI yesterday, and I think I'm having a reaction to the gadolinium. And so my face is on fire. Turn away. Turn off of my face. I can't believe I showed you that. Yes, JJ needs Easter cards, but you'd have to get them to her quick because Easter is not far away. It is not far. So make your cards, get them sent. I only sent a few Easter ones. I sent a ton of birthday. So that is... I kind of went through my card stash and I tried to decide what I had, and I just purged like crazy for her. So, okay. Have a fabulous afternoon. Let's hope it warms up just a little bit. Bye-bye, everybody.